Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, why did I buy this shit? Fragrance haul, number 4 or number 5 of the year. Before we get into it, there's going to be two things. First, show YouTube and the algorithms that you like this video by leaving me one of these. Trust me, I hate asking, but even myself, I forget to like a lot of the videos that I enjoy watching. Secondly, for 2025, you're not going to get a lot of videos like this. You're probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 at the absolute most because I'm putting an end at my spending when it comes to these fragrances. So you might see more decant reviews next year. I know I do a lot of them, but my wife and I, we ended up buying a house back in July of this year, and we're not going to get the home until like August or September of next year. So bit of a spoiler alert. So that's one of the reasons why I want to be done spending so much money on fragrances. Alright, so let's just get into it, alright? So first one is going to be Burberry for Men, or Burberry Classic. Depending on where you look, it's got a bit of a different name. This one, when I smelled it so many years ago, like 10, 12 years ago, I was not feeling it at all. It smelled a little bit too old school for me. But I guess that as I got older, because, I've been around for a long time. I'm one of the few dinosaurs that are still around. Some of the other names that are consistent is Radolescence, Mark, who else? Al, Street Sense comes and goes. Same with Fragrance Bros. But there's not a lot of the old timers still around. Back then, I kind of feel like this fragrance was more popular back then. But I enjoy it. It has a lot of like lemon, maybe some lemon verbena, mint, lavender, woods, musk. It's actually bergamot instead of the lemon, but it smells a little bit of like an old school sort of lemon. Just like a spring scent, like an everyday spring scent for like an older guy. And that's what I am. I'm an older guy now. If you're an avid outdoorsman like myself, and believe it or not, I really am an outdoorsman. I love camping, I love fishing, and I most certainly love hiking. The only outdoorsy thing that I don't like doing is hunting. So that's just something I don't like doing. But D squared original wood might be for you. So this just reminds me a lot of the great outdoors. Just a lot of woods. It's got like ozonic notes, so it feels like that crispness that you get in the mountains. It also has like aquatics. The woods themselves are like cedar and balsam fir, which you're gonna get. You're gonna get the watery notes. There is that violet leaf that kind of gives off that briskness, that airiness. And there's also gonna be like cardamom, and I believe vetiver as well. Just like an everyday scent, like casual, or even it's a great work scent for the spring and autumn time. Let's go with one of the best purchases that I picked up this year, and it's a niche, and that is going to be Frappé Luministe. This stuff here is just amazing. It's a very fresh fragrance with citruses. It's got like a gin and tonic. I think juniper berries. But for like a fresh summer scent, there's a little bit of class to it. You could wear this with like a button down, like something like preppy, something even like a white t-shirt and jeans. But like there is that classy, mature feel to it as well. Oh yeah, I absolutely love it. The only downfall with this one here is the performance. It's kind of really shitty. It's like 4 to 5 hours. Next fragrance is discontinued, and it was a gift from a friend, an old timer who is no longer reviewing, Cody Drakduck. So I had the pleasure of meeting up with Cody when I was in Tampa Bay back in February, and here it is. It's the end of November. How fast has this year gone by? Cody, unfortunately, because he lives in the hotter temperatures, he can't wear a lot of the heavier fragrances. And that fragrance is going to be Mugler's Crypto Mint. So I ended up taking like 4 fragrances. I could have taken up to 20, he said, but I didn't want to be greedy, and like what he was gifting me, like anything that I wanted, was really like over generous. Unlike, like I stated, right, some of the old timers, this was like popular back then. I wish that Cody was one of those old timers that are still around. He told me why, that he doesn't really see himself coming back, and I kind of don't blame him. The community really has changed, but this has that mint. It's got that typical patchouli. It's got this chocolatey vibe, and it's got like some vanilla. Just like a great spring, and I would say probably like autumn fragrance. Just like an everyday or even a great going out scent. Oh yeah, that chocolate patchouli is definitely in the air. Next fragrance is from a brand that I have not really looked into all that much, and that's the reason why I ended up getting this one. It's from Cerruti, 1881 Sport. So I was expecting something very fresh, very uplifting. It's not a bad fragrance, but it's just not something that I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of like aquatics, ginger, minted. It's not really that. It doesn't really have that sports vibe. Maybe it's because of the lavender and the geranium combination. I don't know. But it smells like a spring and summer scent, something a little bit more mature as well. Next fragrance is actually quite affordable, and I wore this in the fall when it was actually still warm, and I'm like, I gotta review this one. And you know, here we are at the end of November. It's a little cold, but this is a great spring and transition from like summer to fall fragrance. Karl Lagerfeld Vienna Opera. So I almost forgot the name. This is actually quite nice. It's fresh, it's aromatic. You're gonna get like lavender, sage, most certainly basil. Basil and sage is what I get along with the black pepper and the lavender. There is gonna be like a little bit of sandalwood and a little bit of apple as well. I don't wanna say like, okay, like the name itself, Vienna Opera, right? You're thinking, ooh, classy, sophisticated. It's not really that. There are some mature vibes to it, perhaps because of like the lavender, the basil, but it's like that apple that adds a little bit of a youthful touch. And this is not really a sophisticated fragrance. For me, this is more of like an everyday work fragrance. So let's stick with Lagerfeld, and this one was actually pretty good as well. Lagerfeld Hamburg Ulster. So these names themselves are a little bit different. This one's fresher than the Vienna one because it has Fria. So I do think that this can be a unisex fragrance if it is not a unisex fragrance, but like definitely like a little bit of like a white floral. There's definitely a lot of the citrus. There's lavender, and there's most certainly mint. So mint, lavender, and like a white floral with citrus. Really nice. It's very uplifting. You definitely get that mint, which adds this mood boosting, energetic feel. The citrus as well, and just maybe that white floral adds a little bit of a gentility feel to it, but more of a spring and autumn fragrance. So we're down to 3 fragrances. We got a cheapie and 2 niches. So the 2 niches we're gonna finish off because they're more of a travel spray. And this one here, this cheapie, I'm not familiar with the brand at all. Very much like the Cerruti 1881 or whatever it's pronounced. See, that's how unfamiliar I am with that brand. But this one here, I only got because it was more affordable than what one of my subscribers was recommending. And I'm like, you know what, I'll look into this brand, and I kind of wish I didn't get this fragrance just because it's very misleading, okay? Mandarina Duck, Let's Travel to Miami. So it's a long name. Mandarina, I'm always thinking of Mandarino, like the Tom Ford fragrances. Just the name itself, you're expecting like a tropical sort of fragrance, like a high heat banger, right? It's not really that. I gave it maybe 2 wearings, expecting something like coconut or like passion fruit, like a tropical fruit, right? It don't really have that. It does have violet, which is nice. It has citrus. It also has like nutmeg and lavender, and it also has like leather and amberwood towards the base. To me, that's not really like a Miami sort of fragrance. This fragrance maybe was catered to, like the name itself, maybe like a night out sort of fragrance, because when I think of Miami, I think of like tropical getaway. Wintertime away from like the snow, you know, being from Toronto, movies, you know, beaches, the nightlife. So maybe this is like a nightlife sort of fragrance. See this being like a night scent. There's nothing sexy about it. Maybe on the right guy, you know, maybe the right guy with the right swag and stuff like that. But just generally, that's not what I'm really thinking. So let's finish off with the niche and travel sprays. I ended up losing the bottles for these, and that's why I ended up getting travel sprays. Atelier Pacific Lime. I don't know what I did with the bottles. I may have given them away. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, you're not going to smell it from that. But this, just eucalyptus, lime, coconut. Yeah, I definitely remember this. This is what this, in my opinion, should smell like. When just Miami, this is Miami. This really is Miami. Tropical, creamy, medicinal, aromatic, just, yeah. Oh, this one here definitely is just a summer banger. And the last Atelier fragrance, I think I had a bottle. I can't remember. I definitely had a bottle of this one here. But last but not least is going to be Atelier Clementine California. So definitely very citrusy from what I remember. You know what? It was a travel spray that I had, not a bottle. I remember that, but I don't know what I did with it. So, oh yeah, very energizing citrus, clean, crisp, oh, very bright. There is a little bit of juniper berry, star anise, basil, cypress, but for the most part, it's just citrus forward with, I would say, like woods towards the back and like a little bit of that star anise. Oh yeah, this is more Miami than this, in my opinion. I can't get over that. I just might sell it after I review it. I don't know. Anyhow, guys, that is the last video of why did I buy this shit fragrance haul. So the last one that you will see for a long time. So please make sure to show YouTube that you will like the video by leaving me one of these, please. All right. Any videos that I've done on these fragrances, and there's not a lot on. Wow, there's, I think by the looks of it, only these two, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'll attach a few top 5, top 10s down there, maybe a few smell rates. But if you want to see previous hauls, check out right here. So guys, thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.